Innovations, experts believe, were the key driving force behind Paytm's success. In this age and time, companies don't have any other option but to beat the competition with innovations. Ideas indeed change lives. It holds true for the humble ceiling fan too. They have managed to stay relevant in this age of air conditioners. But how did they do it? Are ceiling fans spinning in a new direction? Tariq Ahmed gauges the wind direction.
At the turn of 20th century, Crompton Greaves introduced the first electric fan in India. And about 2 decades later, in 1930, Usha came out with the first indigenous ceiling fan. Since then, the humble blades have been spinning in our rooms, unhindered by the winds of change that brought in first the room coolers and then the air conditioners. Despite the rapid adoption of ACs, which have made inroads in villages too, ceiling fans didn't lose their edge. Technological and aesthetical add-ons only made it more relevant.
Fan is something, even if you have air conditioner at home, you can't work without a fan. Because once the temperature has come down, let's say 23, 24 degrees centigrade, the fan is not required, the AC is not required. At that time, a fan can operate and can give you the comfort at that level. Once the humidity is out and temperature is down, then if you are going to continue to use air conditioner, you are wasting a lot of electricity. And there are certain times when in the room you still require, you don't require air conditioning once the temperature comes down. So people use air conditioner in the extreme times, and the balance time they operate the fan. So demand for fan cannot come down at any stage of time in India.
According to the data by the International Market Analysis Research and Consulting Group or IMARC, 41.2 million ceiling fans were sold in India in 2022. Looking forward, the reports predict that with a compound annual growth rate or CAGR of 2.3%, this number will touch 47.5 million by 2028. The ceiling fan industry has also gone through an evolution in the last 10 years. Before 2012, an average Indian household used to have 3 80-watt fans, and each of them used about 1 unit of electricity in an hour. But with the advent of brushless direct current motor or BLDC, fans got more energy efficient and less noisy. Now, a fan with BLDC uses only about 20 to 30 watts, saving 200 rupees of electricity bill per ceiling fan in a month. Atomberg is one of the several startups which have popularized the BLDC generation of fans in India. And most of the innovation in the sector followed a pattern of startups bringing new elements to the ceiling fans that are mass-produced later by the bigger fan companies like Crompton, Havells and Bajaj. The innovations in ceiling fans did not just stop there. Fans with LED lights, remote controls, and air purifying systems followed to provide more comfort and utility. Ceiling fans now have become a part of home decor as well, and manufacturers are producing more aesthetically pleasing designs.
There are different experiments that you could see brands are doing, which is, maybe use of plastics in fan. The blades are made of plastic to make it silent. So when you use plastics, you can give different colors. So there are different, kind of color finish and materials which are being used. If I had to use the terminology, which are making the fans more decor friendly. And these are some of the innovations that I can talk of. Yes, of course, there is an introduction of electronic fans as well, which you can control by remote. There are fans which now integrate IoT as well, so you can control it by your various voice commands. You can give voice commands. It can speak. That entire fan can speak to your other electronically connected devices at home and can do self-diagnosis.
The latest technological innovation in the fans are IoT or Internet of Things features like voice and automatic temperature controls. A range of fans with IoT features can be connected to mobile phones, tablets, and laptops through Wi-Fi. But the innovation comes with a cost. Now, a normal fan costs 2 to 3,000 rupees and a BLDC fan costs 4 to 5,000 rupees. Then there are smart fans with features like remote control, LED lights, IoT features in the 5,000s to 15,000s range. Also, there are luxurious ceiling fans with intricate designs which cost more than 20,000 rupees. Average temperature rising across all the geographies of the country, fans have now become an almost all-season product. They are not just complementing coolers and ACs by evenly spreading the cooling, but adding to the decor of the room too. And this year, the government has also made it mandatory for ceiling fan makers to display B-star ratings. This will lead to more energy-efficient fans. Clearly, fans in India are getting cooler.
Meanwhile, fanned by the prospects of good Q4 results, shares of automobile companies have seen a stellar run in the past 1 month. However, will this upside continue in the near term as well, or a correction is on the horizon? Lovisha Darad brings you a detailed report.
From two-wheelers to passenger vehicles, shares of automobile companies have been upbeat in recent days. Over the past 1 month, listed players like Tata Motors, Maruti Suzuki, Bajaj Auto, Eicher Motors, Ashok Leyland have rallied up to 14% as against 3% rise in the S&P BSE Sensex. So, what is driving auto stocks in the fast lane? Analysts point at fair valuations on easing market concerns and hopes of healthy March quarter results as some of the key triggers.
The stocks were in the oversold zone in the month of February and March because of the banking crisis in US. The market was down, and the steel stocks valuations were in the oversold zone category, and the valuations were looking attractive. So after the easing of the market concerns from the US banking crisis, the broad market has rallied, and with that, the auto sector and auto stocks have also rallied. So one of the reasons was the attractive valuation. Number two was the earnings growth trajectory for these stocks. For almost all the auto OEMs and auto ancillary stocks was good. In Q4, we expect a good earnings growth for these stocks. And number three, some of the headwinds for the auto OEMs were subsiding going forward. For example, for the two-wheeler auto OEMs, the exports which were affected in FY23, they are expected to bottom out. And because of that, few stocks like Bajaj Auto, TVS and Eicher Motors, they are doing well.
So far, auto majors Maruti Suzuki, Hero MotoCorp and TVS Motor have delivered up to 49% year-on-year rise in net profit in Q4 FY23, whereas revenue from operations has climbed up to 20% year-on-year. But will this upside remain unhindered? Analysts feel otherwise. Walekar of Access Securities, for instance, expects rural distress to eat into demand patterns, which could lead to correction in related stocks.
For the CV, commercial vehicles, we expect some moderation in growth for the CV growth in FY24. The MHCV segment has grown by approximately 47% in FY23 year over year over the low base of FY22. And in FY24, because of the high base of FY23, we expect some moderation in growth for the CVs. For two-wheelers, the two-wheelers have also grown in FY23, but it's still lower than the peak of what two-wheelers achieved in FY19. So we expect the two-wheeler growth momentum to continue in FY24. For passenger vehicles, they have also grown robustly in FY23. In double digits over the low base of FY22. So we expect some moderation in growth for passenger vehicles going forward. For tractors, the growth outlook is slightly muted because of the high base of FY23 and also the lurking risk from the El Nino and monsoon and rural distress.
In April, total vehicle retail sales slumped 4% year-on-year, with two-wheelers and passenger vehicles declining in the range of 1 to 7%, showed data compiled by Federation of Automobile Dealers. Electric vehicle sales too saw sequential degrowth in April, with passenger vehicles down 32% and two-wheelers down 23%. Going ahead, analysts expect EV sales momentum to gather steam as FAME subsidy concerns fade out. Mumuksh Mandlesha, research analyst at Anand Rathi Institutional Equities, says though e-two-wheeler volumes were lower month-on-month in April 2023 due to concerns around FAME subsidy, we expect volumes to improve going ahead with clarity on incentives, lower cost, and product launches. As an investment strategy, analysts recommend traders to selectively buy the dip post the recent up move.
We recommend investors to stick to the buy on dip strategy. Because of the recent rally in the auto stocks, the valuations now look in a fair value zone. So we will stick to the buy on dip strategy.
Today on 10th of May, Q4 results, global cues, rupee movement and crude oil prices will dictate market trends.
After action in the automobile sector, let us shift our attention to the one around ports. A cargo ship carrying 20,000 bags of cement chugged out of Kolkata port on May 4th, operationalizing the waterway component of Kaladan Multimodal Transit Transport Project. The ship will reach Sitwe port in Myanmar. In our Decoded segment, we tell you more about this ambitious project. India now has an alternate access route to the northeastern region of the country through Myanmar. The two countries connect via the Bay of Bengal and have been jointly developing the Kaladan Multimodal Transit Transport Project for shipment of cargo between the two neighbors. The project was conceptualized to connect the eastern ports of India with Myanmar as well as the northeastern parts of India via Myanmar, thereby easing the transportation of goods from Kolkata to the northeastern region through the narrow Siliguri corridor. The Government of India entered into a framework agreement with the Government of Myanmar in April 2008 to facilitate implementation of the Kaladan Multimodal Transit Transport Project. But the political unrest in Myanmar delayed the project at several stages. The project involves 3 stages of development. The first stage was building a port in Sitwe to connect the Kolkata port through Bay of Bengal. The second stage involved developing a 158-kilometer inland river route through Kaladan River till Paletwa in Myanmar. The final stage of the project involves building a 110-kilometer road from Paletwa to Zorinpuri in Mizoram. From Zorinpuri, cargoes can reach Longthlai in Mizoram and then to Aizawl and other northeastern states through the existing highways. Building a deep water port in Sitwe and an inland water terminal in Paletwa in Myanmar has already been completed by the Inland Water Authority of India. The first cargo ship from Kolkata's Shyama Prasad Mukherjee port reached the newly inaugurated Sitwe port in Myanmar, Rakhine State on 9th of May. That's a milestone, according to the Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Sarbananda Sonowal, because political turmoil in Myanmar had delayed the project multiple times in the past. For instance, the Sitwe port was completed in 2018, but the permission for operations came only by January 2023. Also, 5 Indian workers were abducted by the Arakan Army in November 2019. The operationalization of Sitwe port would enhance bilateral and regional trade as well as contribute to the local economy of Rakhine State of Myanmar, reads a statement by the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. However, the real challenge is building the 110-kilometer road as it passes through conflict-ridden states of Chin and Rakhine states in Myanmar. The completion of Kaladan Multimodal Transit Transport is scheduled to take another 18 to 20 months, depending on the political stability in Myanmar.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank, SBI, the banker to every Indian.
First approved in 2008, the project took 15 years to become operational. That's all for today. For more news and analysis, please log on to business-standard.com.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.